Thank you. So go back, ma. Sir, can you go back again? Yeah. If you see that number there below my name, 17.4346 not 78.4631. That is what I want you to focus today. That's the main thing which is there, which is the focus of this presentation. Next bit, next. So I think I missed a slide somewhere there. Second slide, then mundundam koti. Okay. I'm just showing one application here which we developed Telangana government about 2 years ago. The numbers that you see there are part of a door numbering system, calling it one world, one number. The problem is not just about Hyderabad, wherever you go. For instance, my house number is 6-3-1216 by 50 by Begumpet, etc. pin code. It runs with a big thing and it is based on the essential old system of ward, block. But digital door numbering is something which we are advocating, and Telangana government was actively looking at this some time ago, and I would like you to understand how this works. And maybe for your projects also, when you give an address, location sharing is there, but this kind of numbering system, in fact we suggested to RERA, Dr. Satyanarayana Garu, instead of having a conventional numbering system, you might as well have a coordinate based numbering system. Yeah, next bit. So the door numbering system works on latitude, longitude based coordinate system, and there are various models in the world. One is also called Google Plus, also What 3 Words, Makani in the Dubai, and Zipper code. At the background of all this is the latitude, longitude. What we have said is, instead of using it at the background, let's use the latitude, longitude directly. I'll try and show you how it is possible, because a lot of them write codes to use the lat long, and when you use the lat long directly, it can be used on any database. It can be used on Google, it can be used on Bhuvan, any database that Apple is also likely to make in the future. But when you use a code, it is restricted to only that. Now Google Plus works only on Google. Please remember that. Whenever you come across any numbering system, the question you should ask is that applicable across map databases? That is what we are trying to show you now. So the reason for this is latitude, longitude is unique. That is something which you remember. Trying to say that the number which is there for HICC, I have another slide here, will never be repeated elsewhere in the whole world. So the uniqueness of latitude, longitude is to be understood by all of us, and instead of coding, we look at latitude, longitude as a numbering system. Next. Next slide. So these are numbers which you see of a certain location, like 17 degree, 24 second. All those who have seen topographical maps or any maps would be aware of this degree system. Different measurement systems, like you have meters, feet, different measurement systems. Next. Next. Okay, now for the same point, which is 17.407, etc. If you see the plus codes come out as 7J9, etc. This is a very random kind of a thing. Plus zipper requires registration. And this is another interesting called What 3 Words. What this agency has done is, whole world they have divided into grids of 3 meter by 3 meter. So every 3 meter by 3 meter grid has words associated with it. So for instance, that number has words of chew, smoker, accented. It's a very random kind of words. And we were making a presentation at that time to Chief Secretary, and he was asking us repeatedly, is this the 3 words for that location? And fortunately, he was a smoker. So he was trying to relate how the smoking word came about at that particular point. Anyway, next. Okay, the present system. Why are we looking at digital door numbering? The reason is the present system duplication. Now he was talking of Lucknow in the just before. So same Lucknow will have 6-3- etc. Same Lucknow will have let's say Ramakrishna Road or Indira Nagar, like that. So repeat. Whereas lat long is unique, it will never be repeated. Please remember that. And the urban local bodies, because as you are real estate sector people, the urban local bodies primarily need revenues. When the HMDA Commission is talking of development, revenues are main. So they need to have a system which is unique, which creates revenues for them, so that the money goes into development. So for that, you need a numbering system to be unique and not duplicatable. Also, it supports the SDGs. Now, everybody is talking Sustainable Development Goals, 17, which are given by the United Nations. So, for all that, you need a secure, reliable door numbering system, which will enable you to deliver services. So, that's the reason why I developed. Next bit. Next. Please understand this. This is a little important, but when you looking at Hyderabad, whenever you look at Google Maps or Bhuvan, the latitude is 17 degree. The longitude is 78 degree. That's a standard. So what happens is around Hyderabad from 17 degree to 18 degree, from 78 to 79, 1 degree by 1 degree. Just keep it in mind. It covers about 10,000 square kilometers. 10,000 square kilometer, 1 degree by 1 degree. So what we've done here is 1 degree is 100 kilometers if you see. Second point, it comes to 10 kilometer. After decimal 1, and finally at the 5th decimal point it goes to 1 meter. So if you have to move to a location of 1 meter, you have to get to the 5th decimal point. Please understand that. So this is the system that we've devised for the numbering system. Next. Next picture. Next. Yeah, another thing in this, what happens is the numbers increase. Now we are in the northern hemisphere. Towards the north the numbers increase, east-west the numbers increase. Whereas in other codes, Google Plus and Zipper and all, there is no rationale how they are coding, how they are increasing. So this system based on numbering, it increases north-south and east-west. And also it's easy to understand. Anybody understand lat long? Very easy to do that. And now what we suggested to GHMC here also is, you can generate your own numbers and then GHMC verifies. Today it's a whole new process. If you have to get a number allotted to you, it's a very tedious process. So if you are able to, the user generates his own number and the urban local body verifies and validates, then that way is a better thing. And all our systems are now talking of non-interference from the ULBs. If we can have a non-intervention, this human interface is not there and we can do a lot of things that's possible. So this offers that system. Next. So what we do is, it's a very, those who know a little bit of AutoCAD and kind of, each plot which is there, you can generate a centroid. The center point, you can generate a value for it. And that becomes a number of that plot or a building. Yes, there are issues when you divide the plot into two. Again, the new polygon or a square will have the centroid again, which is again unique. So that way, the existing door numbers we took in from the town planning officials. We've done it for about a couple of municipalities in Telangana. And the process I'm just showing you here. Next. So some of the urban local bodies already had very good maps with them. So we tried using what is available. Which did not have, we followed a different method. Next. Okay, similar thing, just re-emphasizing. Next. Okay, what the system you're talking of is usable on any GIS format. Let it be any map, Google Map, Bhuvan, Apple, whatever it is, it can work. Ease of generation use. Reduces human interface. This is the big thing that people are now talking of. The human intervention, if you reduce, it's better. Transparency. Next. Okay, I think this got a little. So what we did is scan maps of a municipality. The door numbers, we involved the field collectors, bill collectors, then the numbers there. Next. Then for that, if you see here, we generated the digital door numbers. Now, I don't know if you're able to see on the left corner, 18.39, 78.80. Now, this is common if you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm showing on the screen 5 plots. 5 plots, and the lat long is here. Now, if you see the latitude, longitude, DDN, lat, DDN long, the common part is 18.39 and 78.79. That will not change for that particular area. What changes is only the last 3 figures. Now with that you can have numbering system for an area with changes in the last 3 digits only. Makes it much easier to remember. When we are presenting this, the previous chief secretary asked us, it's a longish number, how will people remember? So we reduced it to this. Also we said Aadhaar card number we don't remember, but we use it. Similarly, this is Aadhaar for properties. That's what we are saying. So we made it convenient, so the number can be reduced to 6-digit number, and it is unique. Next. Like this, we did for Narayanpet at that time. So if you see there now, 16.7, 77.4, was common for the entire Narayanpet area, about 100 square kilometers, common. And only changes 8 digits, 4096, etc. So entire Narayanpet municipality, common part and the variable part. So we also added the QR code, you link it to, you scan it, it gives you the number, it gives you proper tag, etc., etc. But primarily, the idea was to give it a unique number. That's what we did. Next. Next bit. Next bit. We had a lot of interactions with them and meetings before we did this. Next. So this is the numbering system. If you see, 16.7 common, 77.4 common for entire Narayanpet municipality of 100 square kilometers. Likewise, we can have grids. Hyderabad is a bigger area. For some 100 kilometers block, you can have a common area and then have the variable part. Next. So we displayed also this. What we did is, now what happens is when you go out, when you're driving or going, you need locations which are visible to your eye. So we displayed these numbers so that people know where they are going and where they are traveling on to, directions. So this was done as an example. Probably it was the first urban local body in the entire country which adopted this system. And then it was sent for the Center for Good Governance to incorporate along with the property tax. Next. So for the ease of convenience, we did both. We said the existing door number and the new door number so that people get used to it, and we developed a converter with which it's easier to use. Next. Next. So this is Hyderabad. We again did some examples for Hyderabad also. All of you know the present Hyderabad GHMC has about 6 zones named. Next. I think this is stretching out. Yeah, next. And it has several boundaries like your administrative boundaries, your pin codes. Various boundaries are there. Whenever, let's say, police has a different boundary, postal department pin codes. There are 35 different boundaries within Hyderabad. What we said is, you might have boundaries, but the number should be same. But if you have police, municipality believes in warded block, police believes in circles, somebody has something else, so it's a lot of confusion. We said if you have latitude, longitude number, it makes it easy. Next. Next bit. Okay. Assembly constituency also. Next. So one example we took around Hussain Sagar, one of the Hyderabad circles, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. Circle is a subdivision of the zone, and circles again have wards. Hyderabad has 150 wards, so we studied this area for developing a good system. Next. Similar thing as I told you. Now if you see on the southern side, 17.40195. Towards the north, the number increases if you see, 17.43. So there is a sequence to this. There is a rationale to the increase. Whereas when you try out the Google Plus, there is no rationale. You can explore. We would actually request Naretko to do some research along with us on this to see which is more effective. Next. So at that time, Pragati Bhavan was in the news, so we did this. Now, as a comparison, if you see, Google Plus has 7J9 WCF 25. Right side, if you see, it has 7J9 WCF 5F. So there is no correlation. Whereas with the latitude longitude, there is a definite correlation of an increase in the north-south direction or east-west direction. Next. So we gave some numbering system example. Now, the existing door number, for instance, let's say look at CDMA number, last column. It says 11-4-641, etc., Lakdigapul, pin code, master tank, etc. Instead of that, if you use 17.40195, that is the address. You don't need anything else. That is what we are trying to emphasize, that one world, one number. And this number is never repeated anywhere. That is what we want you to appreciate, understand. The government understood at that time. They were on the verge of getting into a system wherein this can be deployed across Telangana. But again, a lot of other issues were there. So again, re-emphasizing one unique number which replaces your address and all other things. And you just have to remember this, and there's a common part to it also. Next. Next. Okay, what we also said is now, because our mobile phones also have GPS, the minute you enter an area, you can make out which is the approximate lat long of that area. So the app generates 18.39 and 78 already. The minute you enter, the app generates that. All the user has generated is 043971, making it easier for him. It's very, very simple to generate this, and then you have to remember only the 6 numbers. That is what we are working on, and maybe in the days to come, this will happen. Next. Next bit. For Alir also we did something similar. Next. So the existing door number and the digital door number. Just trying to strengthen the idea. Next. Okay, this again just to make you understand. You can divide into grids of 100 meter by 100 meter. Now for your projects also that we have, you can divide your layouts into these kind of areas, which will have a demarcation of latitude, longitude, and you can use it as a numbering system for your projects. Next. This was done for a Nizampet project. If you see now, the layout is well designed. It's a north-south layout. So the numbering system becomes easy to do. If it's haphazard and there are a lot of lanes going around, otherwise it's very easy to do. Next. Similar thing, yeah, next. Go on. On the next thing. Nizampet also we had done some work at that time. Next. So this is the existing, I was talking to you. We enter the existing door number, it generates the digital door number. Very simple to do. So provided we do that. It's only a very Excel kind of a system. So one column you have the existing door number, other column you have the new door number. So you type it the old number, it shows you the new number. Next. Something like this. Next. We're saying why should we have something like this? Code based, because the system, it conforms to the new national map policy also. It's 12 digit, only numbers. Others are alphanumeric. I also don't understand logic, why alphanumeric, but if it is only numbers, it's much more easier because Aadhaar card, like, it has only numbers. So we said similar thing, we should have only numbers if possible. The coordinate system works across all formats, whereas code based DDN work only on certain specific things. Next bit. Next. Like you was in the morning, I think again you were speaking of Hyderabad, if you all know, has about 150 wards. Which is the ward we are in here right now? Anybody? Which is the ward number we are in here? Anybody take a guess? Which ward number are we in? Isn't it? Mumbai? 40 is just colored like that. We are in the western side, I think it's about 105 or something. 105 is on the western side. So ward numbers were given not following any kind of sequence. Especially if you see old city Digara, in the southern side if you see, there's a lot of congestion because it's based on population. And northern side if you see, they're well spread out. Western side the population is more. So ward map, now I understand these wards are going to become more. They're going to increase with the new municipalities joining in. The number of wards will go up. Next. Next. We have talked of plans for this next one. Next. We designed various systems at a ward level. This was one of the examples I wanted to show you. This was based on Bhuvan, which I told you. Bhuvan ward map was overlaid. This was done with GHMC. Like all of us now, let's say we create waste. We had some couple of visits with Mr. Vijay Sai Garu. Now this was about deployment of primary waste collection vehicles. This is a thematic map if you see. Now the areas which are red are a problem area. The areas which are cream color or green are less problems. So when a person like the GHMC commissioner looks at this map, he knows where are the problem areas. So GIS gives you that advantage to focus your efforts. Next pattern. Next. Okay, this is what I wanted to tell you. One of the applications, this is Bhuvan based application. Bhuvan, as I mentioned to you, like unfortunately because of the lack of internet connection here, otherwise I was wanting to show you this. Now Bhuvan is generated by National Remote Sensing Center. You can vaguely call it the Indian equivalent of Google. What it does is, it shows you all the satellite imagery, it shows you all the municipal maps of the entire country. It is designed specifically for our country. Now with the kind of things happening in US, I don't know if you read the newspapers yesterday and day before, they call it GPS spoofing. Then what happens is the coordinates that you get in a place are not the real coordinates. They just go awry. And also let me relate to you, the GPS system which we all follow was an American based system started in the 1990s for the defense system. They wanted a missile to go and land at a particular place, they integrated the coordinate system in that. And America introduced a deliberate error in the readings. They never allowed people to use it across the whole world. So from 1990 to almost 2000, early 2005, we were not able to use GPS coordinates. There was inaccuracy. And how much inaccuracy? Only they knew. And in 2002, Russia came up with GLONASS, a parallel system. And GLONASS gave accurate readings without any correction. We started then during Clinton's time. America suddenly became generous and they said we are sharing the knowledge with the whole world. Then applications came about. You also would know during the Operation Sindoor this time, we did not rely on GPS. There was a problem with GPS. Again, Russia came to our rescue. GLONASS coordinates were used. So tomorrow, we do not know what's going to happen. So if we rely more on Bhuvan and our own NAVIC system, then we are much better off, more secure is what we are trying to say across applications. Suddenly tomorrow if location sharing based on Google doesn't happen or Trump declares a charge for it, what are we going to do? So Bhuvan is our alternative, we need to strengthen it and I request you again to look at Bhuvan as an alternative and start using it. If there's any issue with Bhuvan, anything that you have with NAREDCO and NAC that we are there, we can solve your problems and please remember that this is our data. Bhuvan is our portal. Let's strengthen it is my request to you. So if you see here, the rooftop area has been calculated. Entire rooftop, it shows up as 2000, whatever, the larger area, square meters. Now this was done to measure the water that can be harvested, rainwater that can be harvested, taking into account the entire rooftop area of that area. So the rainfall, the rooftop area available, how much water can be conserved. So this calculation is possible through Bhuvan. Google Earth also offers this, but Google doesn't. So this system can be used to work on water conservation, environmental issues. So we just wanted to show an example. Also, if you see there are numbers like 261, 257, 463, if you are able to see, they are the survey numbers. All your cadastral maps have now been integrated with Bhuvan. So if you go into Bhuvan portal, if somebody wants to know a survey number of a particular area, a lot of people call us sometimes, what is survey number of my plot? This is a place where you are likely to get your survey number, based on which you can do more research in terms of the land, title, etc. Next. This is again Hyderabad, yeah. So this is one, again it's a thematic map. If you see, application I'm just showing you. The yellow areas are the areas where the work is not proper. The green areas are doing well. This is how visually you would just straight away look at it and understand. And yeah, next. The red areas, okay, yeah, the red areas are the one where there's a problem. So immediately if the head of the urban local body can look at it and say, what's happening there? And the good practices which are working in the green area also can be replicated. Next. Now this is, we also worked on the application of agriculture areas. Maybe not really directly, but I just wanted to show how Bhuvan can be used for various other applications. In the agriculture area, now you see the belt of Nalgonda, Suryapet, Khammam. This is paddy sown area. Paddy was sown more in that belt. What GIS does is it shows you a pattern. It shows you a pattern and it shows you where what is happening. Again, I heard Mr. Sarfraz Garu speaking in the morning about different things of the radial road, ORR, etc. I think I have a map to show you. The most important part is understanding where what is happening. The operative part is where. When somebody calls you today on the mobile, what's the first question you ask? Normally you ask, where are you? Earlier it used to be, how are you? Now it's changed to, where are you? Because you want to, measure how long will it take for him to be here. So the operative word is where. Please remember the operative word is where, which will enable to take more decisions. So if you see the belts here, Nalgonda, Suryapet, etc. Adilabad and Kumarambim, there is no paddy or less paddy. Okay, next. This was another, at that time we did a lot of maps around, this is the tomato map specifically. So if you see Hyderabad in the center and you see the pink areas around it, more tomato is grown. So the pattern shows why it is grown is because the consumption of vegetables or tomato is more in the urban areas. So you understand and you get to a decision support system. Next. Next. Yeah, this again, because we would expect NAREDCO to work with the urban local bodies, which wards are doing well. which areas are doing well, which supports the facilities. So we talked of waste collection, we talked of toilets availability, we talked of property tax payments, lot of things. So the red areas, there's a problem. The green areas, they are doing very well. So at a glance, you can make this out. Next. Land use also, similar thing. Wherever there are green areas, more parks. So typically, if you look at this map, the southern area shows you there are no parks. So we need to do more in that area. So this kind of analysis explains you much more. Next. Unauthorized floors. Yeah, next. Water cess. Next. Same map used for various disciplines. Next. Next. So this was done for water harvesting. Where again, the point is where should we harvest the water? Where is the water being collected? If you just say do 1,000 water harvesting pits across the city, not done. Where you should do it, where is the shortage, that's very important. Next. This is an interesting project we did again using Bhuvan. This was for Narayanpet district. The present district collector, Mrs. Harichandana, was at that time district collector. So Bhuvan tracked all the COVID patients at that time. The small dots that you see there are all the COVID patients. So this enabled her to deliver medicines, doctors reached out. This is how it worked. Similar thing can be done for any project which has a location. It could be your customers, it could be whatever. The Bhuvan database can be used. Next button, next button. Normally the government gave table data like this, saying that these many patients, these districts. Now just look at it. What kind of understanding will you get? Next map, show the map. Next. Immediately if you see this, you know the districts which are most affected. Tabular data versus spatial data. There's a big difference. Straight away there's a pattern to it. If you see, again, around Hyderabad, an urban phenomena, there's a problem there. Also beds availability, resource management. In all your projects, you can do resource management using GIS techniques. Next. This was going back again. If you see 2,344 cases were reported. So the boundary is there. All you need to do is the latitude, longitude, it gets onto the map. A very simple app developed by NRSC and provided to the government free of cost. There's no cost associated. Only some license was involved and they were able to do this. Next. This was again one of the projects we did for CDMA, which involved tracking of the primary waste collection vehicles. If you see the circles there, each blue circle is a vehicle. Next. This was another project that we did called the Mobile Raitu Bazaar. The Mobile Raitu Bazaars. If you see the cluster now on the southern part, that was near the Kottapet market. In the morning, all this converged together to collect and then distribute it. So you can track all this. And the time you can see on the right side also, 8:28 a.m., 30th 4. So time stamp and digital stamp is the next. This was also ward wise, again using Bhuvan, indicators, which areas are developing more. Next. We also use this for Ganesha tracking. The police commissioner then, Mr. C.V. Anand, was quite convinced of this technology. So the Balapur Ganesh, as it was moving from Aliabad side towards Charminar, we tracked it. I'm just trying to say, any tracking of vehicle location can be done using this, and police were comfortable knowing how it is moving on the map, and using NRSA app, we were able to do this. Next. Likewise, next. Then go on. Next. This is GHMC ward map. Now, the whole thing is about cure, pure, rare. The Chief Minister has been talking of the core urban regional economy, also the peri-urban regional economy, as also the rural agriculture economy. I was looking at the internet to find out, is there a map there for all this? Because all of us would like to know where this is happening for better understanding. But we also thought, now if you see the ORR and the RRR here. Typically the area is between ORR and within the ORR is the pure. From ORR to RRR is calling it the pure. And then beyond it is so if we are really able to do this, we are thinking it will be, for sure Telangana will be a sustainable urban and rural economy if it works out that way, the way we plan. Next. Next pattern. Okay, I have another 5-10 minutes with you. Please bear with me. I think the GHSC commission is on the way. I'll take some more time. There's a Bhuvan app which is there. This is an